All right, today we're diving into a timeless fable, one that really pits the raw, primal instinct of a predator against the unbreakable power of a simple promise. It's the story of a cow, a tiger, and a single choice that reveals something really profound about integrity. So, this brings us to the core question of the whole story, doesn't it? Can a simple vow, we're just talking about words, can that really be powerful enough to tame the most basic, deadly instinct of a predator? Well, let's find out. So, first, let's meet our hero. Her name is Punyakoti, and she lives in a world that, at first glance, seems totally peaceful, almost perfect. Now, Punyakoti wasn't just any cow. In a world that can be pretty complicated, she had this one defining, completely unshakable trait. She just couldn't lie. Her entire life, her whole being, was built on a foundation of absolute honesty. To really get Punyakoti, you have to know what drives her. She's got two main anchors in her life. First, this deep, unconditional love for her little calf, and second, an unbreakable commitment to her word. And as we're about to see, these two things are about to collide in a really heartbreaking way.
So, the peace and quiet of Punyakoti's world? Yeah, that's about to be shattered. Her perfectly ordinary day is going to take a very, very dark turn.
Picture this. The sun's starting to set, casting these long, spooky shadows through the forest. Punyakoti is so lost in her happy grazing that she doesn't even notice her herd has moved on. By the time she finally looks up, she's all alone, and it's getting dark fast. And then, cutting through the silence of the twilight forest, comes a sound that every single creature in that forest fears. A deep, rumbling roar that just screams hunger and danger. And boom, out of the shallows emerges this massive tiger. There's no conversation, no hesitation. To him, Punyakoti is just dinner. She's the solution to his hunger. And his words are just dripping with this cruel, chilling confidence. Okay, this is it. This is the moment the entire story hinges on. This isn't a fight of strength, of tooth and claw. It's a battle of wills, and it's all centered on the very idea of truth itself. Now, Punyakoti is terrified. She's trembling in front of this tiger. But her first thought isn't even for herself. It's for her calf, who's waiting at home, hungry and all alone. Her plea isn't just to save her own life, it's about her duty as a mother. And this is where she makes this just audacious promise. The only thing she truly has to offer is her word. She's asking for a temporary pass, not to escape, but just to go home, feed her baby, and then, and this is the incredible part, she promises to willingly walk right back into the jaws of death. But then, something absolutely remarkable happens. The tiger, this creature of pure instinct and raw power, is stopped dead in his tracks. He looks into her eyes, and he sees something stronger than fear. He sees this profound, unshakable sincerity. And just for a moment, morality confronts instinct. And against every single fiber of his predatory being, he lets her go. So Punyakoti gets her wish. But man, it comes at a terrible price. She gets to go home, but not with relief. She's carrying the heavy, heavy weight of the promise she knows she has to keep. Can you just imagine that moment? The bittersweet feeling of being reunited, but knowing it's the absolute last time. She comforts her calf, she feeds him one final time, and all the while her own heart is just breaking with the knowledge that she has to leave him forever. In her final moments with her child, she passes on the very same principle that she's about to die for. This is her legacy, right? The most important lesson she could ever give him. Your integrity, your truth, that's everything. Live a life built on truth and helping others. So, Punyakoti has said her goodbye. Now, the huge question is still hanging in the air. Is she really going to follow through? This is where the story reveals its most powerful and lasting message.
And she does. You know what? She actually does it.
without hesitation. Leaving behind the one thing she loves most in the entire world. She turns around and walks straight back into that dark forest. She honors her promise. Showing a level of integrity that is just almost beyond our comprehension.
And this is just a brilliant way to explain the central metaphor of the story. Her truth, her promise, it isn't just a bunch of words. It's like an iron chain. It's something real, something tangible, and it's so incredibly strong that not even the fear of a violent death can break it. Think about that for a second. What does an iron chain do? It keeps his ship from being swept away in a huge storm. Well, in the exact same way, our commitment to the truth, our integrity, it anchors us when we're faced with chaos and fear. It is a kind of strength so rare and so solid that, as we saw with the tiger, it can earn respect from even the most fearsome enemy.
And that leaves us with one final, pretty intense question. The story of Punyakoti really forces us to look inward, at our own lives and our own values. In a world that's often full of compromises, what's your iron chain? What promise, what truth is so central to who you are that you'd be willing to sacrifice everything for it?